Welcome to another interior real estate photography tutorial. Today we're looking at open floor plan and how to light entire spaces where there's multiple rooms in a scene. Here you can see the kitchen in the background to the left, and we have tricky lighting situation here where we don't have a whole lot of daylight coming in, and we have no light where we need it, which is right here in this living room with this wall right here blocking a lot of natural light potentially being able to come in. And this is actually why I got the job, because the realtor knows that I use flash and they use the HDR method, and he wasn't able to get a good exposure with his method, so that's why he hired me. So I'm going to take you through this process and show you how I light a space like this evenly and how we blend back in that ambient for that Flambient method. Let me reset this image because this is what it looked like straight out of camera. And I'm going to use my single bump. Really, all this is I'm bringing those highlights down if I need to, boosting those shadows a little bit, bringing the blacks down. And again, these are just starting points. You can tweak that. And what I like to do is once I get a setting for my particular listing that I'm working on for that day. Again, remember the presets that you're going to create are just starting points. And then you want to tweak them. And then what I like to do is just come over here to copy, and then copy, and then the next image I'll just paste those settings in. Let's move on. Now I'm not going to use all these. This was just a test image that I did to see how much light was coming from the flash that's sitting on top of my camera. So if you look right here, this is what I use. This is the setup that I use. Okay, so I have that flash sitting on top of the camera, and then I'm also hand holding my Godox 8200 that I walk around the room and do my flash pops with, which is this shot. So we have that light coming from the top of the camera, and I'm also trying to light this space in here. Now I took multiple flash pops and I walked around the room. The room actually goes back a ways into here, so I tested that out as well. I decided maybe I should just do, flash pop on this wall and then on this wall, just in case this was blooming too much. It wasn't, so I didn't really need that other one. Here's another one that I actually like, but let's reset this because this is what it looked like straight out of camera. This one actually, when I stood over here, it lit the room better than when I was behind this wall. So those are just things you got to play around with. So actually, when I do paste my settings in, and let's give my white balance a check here. That helps getting rid of that yellow a little bit. Look at how nice that looks. And again, let's move to the next one. This is lighting that kitchen up. And of course, we're going to use that one. So let me go back real quick. I want to show you something. Notice how I have this one starred. This is so when I'm going through all these, I know which ones to highlight to bring them back into Photoshop. So all I did on this one was hit the 1 key, and it gave me a setting of 1. So we're going to come back over to here. Which one was it that we liked? It was this one. I'm going to hit 1 again. That's going to star it. This one we're going to use for that side to light the kitchen. And then we'll use this one to get rid of myself. And that was it. So we're going to hold down Command and start clicking all the starred images, right click, edit in, open as layers in Photoshop. So once all your layers have been loaded into Photoshop, and one thing I forgot to mention in the beginning is your images are going to load into Photoshop in the order that you took them. That's why on site, you always do the ambient layer first, and then you do your other flash pops. And leave maybe like a window pull or a window correction for last. If you can remember to do that, that way you're not having to reorganize all these images every single time. The ambient layer will always be on top because that was the first image that you took. So what we want to do is in this situation, we're not going to use the ambient layer right now. That's something that we're going to blend back in later after we create a well-lit, evenly lit flash shot. That's what our goal is right now. So we can get rid of the ambient layer by just toggling it off right there. Now if we toggle this one off, these two down here are the flash kitchen shots, and we have this right here. So what we want to do, this is nicely lit, but we need to work on this image getting that kitchen lit. We're going to take this image and bring it down to the bottom because we don't need it just yet. So we can work on this image and we want to remove ourselves, so we're going to create a layer mask and then Command I to invert it. Make sure our white is selected here. Brush tool, flow is at 5%, opacity at 100, and then we can increase that by those brackets that are just to the right of the letter P on your keyboard. I'm just tapping that. The left one makes it smaller, the right one makes your little circle bigger, and I'm just going to hold down on my mouse. I actually use the trackpad on my laptop. I'm so accustomed to it. I know a lot of people use either a regular mouse or you actually have one of those editing pads with the paintbrush or the pen tool. I forget what they're called. I've never used one of those. I don't see how I don't really need it. I've been just doing it this way for so long. Leave me a comment below. How do you like to edit? Do you use a regular, like a wireless mouse, or what do you use? I'm just curious. Okay, so now that we have our kitchen lit, remember we have to bring that other flash exposure back in, which would be, now here we have our ambient layer shut off. So we're going to take this layer and bring it up just above the one that we just worked on right here. But we have to use a layer mask, Command I to invert it again, and now we can brush in that flash to expose for the room. And again, remember, it doesn't have to be perfect because we're going to blend back in ambient. That way we can, you know, we can paint right over those windows because it was the flash shot, making sure that we get most of that painted in and make it look as even as possible. Look at how nice that blends. That's why we always leave a flash on top of the camera, because if we didn't and this was dark, we would start to blend back in like that dark exposure here on the floor. But notice how nice and even we have this whole floor lit. And I think that looks really good. The only thing left now is to bring our ambient layer back in. So I'm just going to turn that ambient layer back on. Now here's a trick that I like to do that just is simple with your ambient layer, is just going to take the opacity up here, click on this little down arrow and slide this. I like to go about 50%. To me, that always just seems to be about as natural. Now, okay, it's going to vary depending on how much ambient light you do have coming in. So if you have a room that has hardly any ambient light coming in, you pretty much are going to have to be almost 100% flash. That's just kind of a no-brainer. You know, you work with what you can. Now, if we wanted to bring back in some of those windows, I just create a layer mask, don't invert it, make sure we switch over now to black, and that'll just bring back in, if we paint, bring back in that flash exposure underneath. And if we need to, we can paint back in this. But these weren't too bad. I'm not big on window pulls. It's not necessary for 95% of your listing images, and it's just one less thing you have to do to make your time go by faster. And realtors are not going to care, especially if they know how your work is. If you can get the window to be, you know, exposed properly and you can see out it good enough, that's pretty much good to go for real estate. All right, so there you go. We can come down here, click on the last image, right click down here to flatten image, and Command S to save it, bring it back into Lightroom. And I like to do my interior final. And of course, remember, these are just starting points. So again, it overexposes a little bit. So I'm just going to pull my exposure just to make sure here's center. I want the majority or the majority of my histogram to be right of center. And that's it. Maybe I'll drop the blacks a little more. Sometimes I love doing just a little bit more black. It just makes it look nice and contrasty without increasing the highlights. That's why I like using the black slider. So there you go. What I also like to do is the key to the left of the number 1 key has got a little squiggly and a dash. If you click on that, that just flags it. If you are not familiar with what key I'm using, you can right click and set flag and then click flagged. So when you're all done going through these, you can come over here and select flagged, and it'll reveal all your flagged images, and you can highlight them and export them in bulk instead of exporting one at a time or going back through and trying to figure out which files were your finished TIFF files that you brought in back in from Photoshop. It just makes it a lot quicker. So there you go. Leave me a comment below if you have any questions or concerns. Remember, I'm here to help you, and I'm here to help you grow your real estate photography business the best way I know how. So thanks again for watching, guys. We'll see you in the next tutorial. Bye-bye.